Okay. It seems that recording didn't happen. Now, I've just had one of those days where, I still got on, I got my job done and everything like that. But, it's just a lot of small things that are like, oh my God, what now? And, So, anyway, Governor Mark Sandford, former governor of South Carolina, has declared that he's going to challenge Trump again for the primary. There are several states, including his, I think, who have said that the RNC there said they're not going to hold a primary. Well, we'll just wait and see about that. I might do a reading on that at a later date. So anyway, I'll get into it. I'll do a quick Celtic cross. I think I did a reading on Joe Walsh a while back. So I'll leave him, but after that I might do a quick catch up with Bill Weld. So anyway, hopefully this will stay where it is. I'm not going to move it any more than that. So hopefully you'll be able to see across. I'm using the Sacred Circle card by Anna. The Sacred Circle Tarot by Anna, written by Anna Franklin and illustrated by Paul Mason. Beautiful cards. I went and pulled them out. They slipped from my hands and fell on the table and on the floor everywhere. It's just, like I said, one of those days. So anyway, Mark Sandford. Couple more times, Mark Sandford. Let's see what the future holds for him with regards to beating Trump in a primary. Movement, the Knight of Cups. There'll be an offer at some stage, I think, and there's definite movement is him, of course, deciding he's going to do it. The situation, Mark Sandford challenging. Skill, the Eight of Discs. He's got the skill to run the country. He's got the experience. He, unlike the occupant, as I'll call him, he's done his apprenticeship. So he's fully qualified to do it. He's challenged. The Page of Wands. His challenge is action, news of action on the part of other people, possibly news of some of these states, and they're very important states, deciding they're not going to hold a primary. Trump's going to be on the ticket and that's it. I think that's what this is, this news of some of the states saying, no, we're not holding a primary. Yeah, so that's just totally ridiculous, but it is a challenge for him that's got to be overcome. The basis of this reading. Nine of Wands, this is called recovery in this deck, and it's sort of like, it was a couple of months ago that he said he was going to take a month to do it. Obviously he took a little bit longer than that to explore the idea. I think he took a step back and took a bit of extra time to really look at if he had the resources really to go through with it, if he recovered enough from whatever he had gone through with before, whatever battering he'd been through, to do it. There was, of course, the huge scandal with his girlfriend and everything, and the Tallahassee Trail, so I think he sort of had to stand back and assess if his reputation had maybe even recovered enough for him to do it. Okay, the past for him. 9 of Discs, gain. He's been working on shoring up his resources and getting into a position where he has the resources. He's sitting pretty to do it. That's what he's been doing. I think he's financially got the resources to do it now, and he's been working on getting that. I think that's maybe why it took him a little bit longer to announce whether he was or wasn't than he originally intended. The present for him. 2 of Wands, courage. This is a big decision he's made. He's planning, and he's been planning and looking for areas, looking for support, and he's decided to take the action, and he's put up his plan into action. But it is a big decision, and it did take a bit of courage to say, well, yeah, I've got to put other people first. I don't know if he'd do it if Trump wasn't in office. I don't know if he would put his hands up if Trump wasn't in office, but I think because Trump is in office, he feels he needs to. The near future for him, materialism, 4 of Discs. He could be feeling a little bit insecure about even though he's gained a lot. I'll just double check in the book for this one on what this means. Generally it can mean, yeah, he's going to cling in with enough power, or he's a bit worried about having the resources and hanging on to them enough. So, 4 of Discs, materialism. Okay, so he's, yeah. He's probably worrying a bit too much about the money. He's gained the money, he's got it, but stresses and worrying about it. Running for president in any way, shape or form is an expensive business, and I think that worry about it is dominating, and it's going to dominate his life for the near future, even though he is, from the looks of it, he has built up a really good, set of resources there. Okay. You need the power in his environment. 5 of Wands, grounding. He's good with conflicts. Again, he's good at grounding an argument, of getting it down to its basic denominator and sorting out the conflicts, getting that sorted out. Like I said, I've got a lot of decks, and sometimes it helps to just read through the books. Okay, his power. Now this is his power, his strength in his environment, is that he's grounded. He doesn't get too carried away with what's happening about him and loses sight of things. So that's really good. So, yeah, you know how some people can get so caught up in the fight, they lose track of what's happening around them. He doesn't do that. He's good at staying grounded. That's a strength for him. What do others see with regard to him and his chances? A lot of people are regarding him with hope. They feel he could be bring hope for the future of the Republican Party, which, if it stays as it is under Trump's thumb, under complete Trumpian rule, is just going to end, collapse in on itself. So I think some Republicans are starting to see him as a hope, I don't know about their last hope, but a figure of hope for the future of the party. Even if he gets a nomination and doesn't win, he's seen as a person who can bring the party back from the darkness of the Trump ages. Okay, hopes and fears. Reflection, Page of Cups. Page of Cups is news, and he's hoping that he will get the good news about the primary nomination. Maybe that's the good news of, he's hoping for good news about the challenges of people, certain state parties. He's fearful that he's not going to get good news. He's also hopeful, this also represents the youth. He's hopeful that he can get them behind him, and also he's fearful that he can't. Final outcome for Mark Sandford with regard to gaining the Republican nomination. 16, initiation. Sixteen's death. What's 16? What's 16? The Tower. No, it's not. That's not the Tower. No. Initiation. The Tower. Let's have a look in the book here for this one. I thought there was another card for the Tower. 16, initiation. Let's have a look. Initiation, yeah. Initiation marks a transition, the nature of which can be divined from the... Oh, that's right, because there's a couple more deck cards in this deck. This is an... It's got a couple more deck cards, I think. Oh, it's 78. So, initiation. So, it's before the star. Well, marks a transition, the nature of which can be divined from surrounding cards. So, I think he's got a good chance. I'm still puzzled by this card. It comes before the moon, it's the star, but it's not the star. It's in this position of the Tower, but it's not the Tower. The underworld. I think it's, yeah, interesting. I'm not quite sure where it fits and everything, but it's a good card. It marks a transition, the nature of which can be divined from the surrounding cards. One cycle has ended and another has begun. I'm wondering if this is the wheel, but another representative of the Wheel of Fortune. 16. This has got a circle around there, so I'm wondering if this is the wheel. But Warrior reversed. Nope. The wheel, it's on its own too. So, we have the mysterious initiation. But if he undergoes an initiation, that initiation could be accepting the nomination. So let's do a clarifier on that. Imagination, Queen of Swords. Totally honest and a seeker of truth, hating ignorant prejudice and blind faith. Initiation, imagination, Again, I'm finding this a little bit puzzling. So I think I will grab cat tarot. It's here at hand. I might have a few minutes for a 5-carder on Bill Weld. So we'll do the cat tarot and see what that says on the I think overall it's looking pretty good for Mark Sandford. I think let's see, what do we got there? The Hermit is going to be isolated within himself. And the Emperor. I think he might isolate the Emperor, actually. I love this. The Emperor's obviously been neutered. I have an idea that maybe if he could win the primary against Trump, so that's what I'm going to say for Mark Sandford, that yes, he's got a good chance of winning the primary against Trump. Very quickly, I'm going to do a quick five-carder on William Weld, Bill Weld, and Jared Christ, I think. I love all the decks, but like I said, I don't pretend to know all of them, and sometimes I will refer to the books if I get one that puzzles me a bit. So a quick 5-carder on William Weld. How is his bid for nomination going to go? I think William Weld and Mark Sandford would make a great pair in either combination. So let's have a look. William Weld. What's happening with William Weld? Quick 5-carder. What's happening with William Weld? What's at the bottom? Prince of Swords. He fights for people. And things are going to get a little bit chaotic. Let's see. The situation. 7 of Cups. Bit of confusion and all that as to whether or not he's going to continue, I think. His challenge. Finding the strength to keep going. I think he's finding it a bit hard because we haven't heard much from him lately. So, yeah, maybe finding the strength to keep going. Guidance for him. Here's the Queen of Swords again. It's interesting that both men have got the Queen of Swords. Investigate carefully. Look very carefully into who is backing him and why they're backing him. I think that's just my instinct saying that as well. The focus of this reading, 7 of Wands. He's going to feel a little bit defensive about something. Maybe there's some investigation. Something's going to come out about him in an investigator. But because of something, but I think he should investigate somebody in his camp because they're going to come out with something that he may feel he has to defend himself against. Outcome for William Weld, finding it very burdensome. It's going to be a heavy burden. Let's have a look and see if we can find a little bit more about that. 3 of Cups. He's going to have to find a bit more support. He hasn't quite got the support he needs. Yeah, not looking too good. I think he was the first one to come out and say, yeah, look, I'm going to challenge him, but I don't think he has the resources. I think he was maybe, I wouldn't say fooling himself, but maybe he thought he had a bit more support and stuff than he did. So while things are looking pretty good for Mark Sandford as regard to challenging Trump in a Republican primary, Bill Weld's not looking quite as good as the moment. That could change. I will check in on all three of these men periodically. I know I did Joe Walsh not so long ago, so but at the moment Mark Sanford's looking pretty not too bad, but Bill Weld's going through a bit of a tough time. Anyway, I have to go. Thank you very much. Love you all, footprinters, and I will see you at the next reading. Bye bye.